Hello everybody, how y'all doing? Caleb here. We're gonna have a little vlog, I guess. Honing log. Gonna do a little quick shaping. Just finished lapping all these stones. Some I may or may not use. This razor's got a bit of a spine warp, as I'm sure you can see. However, this section, the hollow ground section, is fairly straight. I'm going to remove their bevel flat, a little bit of it anyway. Check how it lays. Because it has that warp, you'll see that the toe section's up a bit. And if we flip it, you can see that the middle section's just got a tiniest bit of a gap there. See if I can get this zoomed in better. There's no edge. I'm sure you can tell. Well, that's not good. Camera is always a bit of a farce. This is a 400 grit, an EWA synthetic. I'm going to concentrate on this side of the hone, about an inch in width, and I'm going to go in square. I'm not going to go in heel leading or baloney like that. You can see I'm using a little bit of through the tang. By the way, this is the tang where my thumb's moving. I'm going to torque towards the edge, pretending like I'm slipping the edge under a sticker, and the spine is having to go over that sticker, but the spine is not coming off of the stone. Very important that you don't raise your spine. It's also very important that you don't pause too long in any one spot. See what I got over here? We're not there yet. Check it against something. Check your bevel for symmetry. Keep an eye on the overall flow of things. You'll hear that gold dollars don't hold an edge. That's complete bullshit, to put it bluntly. Just 99% of people who try to hone these can't hone. To put it bluntly. I'm done kissing ass and being nice on that. I got old and tired about a decade ago. Check it against the light up above where you can't see it, but I can see better. And down here in the shade. I won't say gold dollars are the most amusing thing to hone. They generally have warps and weevils, wobbles. Check it against the light. Wet thumbnail test. Use a pocket microscope to get a better idea of where the burr is, if there is one, if it needs one. Area specific honing there. Get a little dry toilet paper here. Check it against the light for symmetry. Check the edge bevel with the scope. It's coming in nicely. what you need to look for, excuse me here, it's easier if I stand up straight. Every time I try to show this on camera, I have to lean sideways, and it's frustratingly annoying. Let's see what we got here. Alright. I'm just going to move that off of here where it drives me bonkers. This is the Chaucera 1000 grit. Same stroke. Not changing the stroke just because I changed the stone. That's ridiculous. You don't need to do that monkey garbage. Doesn't take 1,000 strokes with the weight of a feather to remove 400 grit scratches either. Put a little torque on it. You'll be fine. You're at the 1000 grit. Right now is whenever you're doing your shaping. You're setting the bevel. And right about now is when I start lightening it up. Once I got most of the work done, I back off on the torque and I watch my undercut. I don't have a lot of water on here, so the better it undercuts with less water, the better honing you're doing. Basically, your face of the hone is mating to your stone perfectly, or better if you wish. Most of your honing is shaping the razor, and then setting the bevel, cutting in the bevel flats. These, where my finger is tapping, that's the bevel flat. Where the bevel, now where I'm tapping, is the apex. You can't see the apex with the naked eye. I'm using this, and I'm checking everything that I've done, heel to toe, both sides. I need to know that I've got all the 400 grit scratches gone, and I've got a clean, crisp apex. One thing I wanted to alter is down here at the heel. Do a little focused work there, and go back to light laps to blend it. That's all you're doing, just blending away. Nice light laps. Keep your stones free of swarf, and your sink and blade free of grit, and your hands. You'll cross-contaminate less like that. This was lapped, and I dressed it with this King Nagura up here on the counter. I'm not going to use any pressure. I don't need real pressure, just enough to keep the blade from rattling. Okay? You see how fast this black swarf pops up? That's steel off the razor, off the bevel flats and the spine ride line. Keep that clean. If you need to, get your synthetic Nagura, dress your stone, rinse your slurry off. What this does is it cleans the surface of any clogging, and it brings up a fresh abrasive, and it smooths out the 5K, so you get a true fine polishing. You're actually polishing and not chipping your edge up, okay? Light, fresh abrasives. This work is almost more important than your finisher. This sets everything up. See that black? Keep that to a minimum. Light laps. The undercut's nice. Tells me I have a good surface mate. So I'm gonna clean my stone. Set it over to the side. This is a Norton 8K. No pressure really, just nice rattle-free laps. See how quickly it cut polishes, or polishes or cuts. And by the way, if somebody tells you that polishing isn't cutting, run away. Run away. Polishing is a form of cutting. The polish is the result of microfine, ultrafine abrasive cutting action. And they don't know what the heck they're talking about when they say, oh, well, you know, it's not actually, it's just polishing. No, it's cutting. Trust me, Fred, it's cutting. Keep your loading to a minimum. Keep your undercut to a max. Just enough pressure to ensure contact. I love this stone, the Norton. It'll bring a mirror polish up. Almost mirror. True mirror, I guess, would be looking at yourself in the mirror. Clean this stone. No need to lap it. Just dress the whole surface evenly. Clean that old swarf off. You could probably finish or take to the 8K maybe, I don't know, 2-3 dozen razors. I'm drying my fingers off camera here. Rinsing it. Be like a raccoon, keep it clean. This is a surgical black. This is water. You don't need a lot of laps on this off of an 8K. With water, there's nothing to buffer the abrasive other than the water from affecting the edge. With these hard stones, true hard black Arkansas, also called surgical black, by the way, pressure is a fatal mistake. Just hold the razor, put it down spine first, lay it down, and hold it in contact, but you'll feel it start to grip. Do not freak out and press. If it starts to skip, back off. You might be done. Don't do that. Skipping's not really a great sign. It's not really something you should actively seek out. I clean my arcs with a rubber eraser to keep the swarf from finishing razors out of it so it doesn't chip the edge. I dressed this one to 1500 or better loose grit silicone carbide, so it's really ultra fine. That's a really nice finish. What it'll tend to do is any impurities or flaws in the metal or stria that you didn't get, I'm going to check it with this. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. Any impurities or whatnot let me strop it. You should always strop hanging my strops on the door handle over here. I'm going to use fire hose linen first. I'm not going to do many laps. Don't need a lot. Just cleaning up the apex, letting the natural deflection of the strop finish the edge. That's what you're actually doing when you're stropping. You're cleaning in it. I know a lot of people don't understand that or think that stropping doesn't do anything. They're wrong. Next is horsehide. Letting the strop flex just a little. Just a little. I understand you really can't see this off camera. My apologies. You could consider the strops the final cleaning of the apex, the closing, I guess you could call it. Brings everything together. Let that leather work. That looks nice. Anyway, treetop and hairs here. Don't know if you can hear them. Anyway, that'll be a nice shaver. Nice shaver. Well, I hope I haven't been too boring. If you look here on the spine, let me see if I can focus this. You see how wavy that spine is? This is one of the reasons that gold dollars, they're not pretty. So if you want a nice looking razor, either heavily modify one, have it reground, or buy a nice, but basically that twist, get the camera to focus. You see how it's different on each side? That's why they're so difficult to hone. It takes a high level of skill, and no, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it takes a high level of skill to maintain the same hand position and the same presentation of the blade to the stone on one of these cheap gold dollars that are torqued a little bit or ground like this than it does with the razor that has been well ground and lays the same easily. I'm not saying I'm a better honer, but I'm saying that if you want to learn how to hone around issues or through issues, you should probably hone cheap gold dollars, and then you won't damage or ruin as many nice, clean vintages or customs. Well, folks, I hope I haven't been too boring. I know I've got a sink full of stones here. Really, you only need, I don't know. You can make do with a 1K, a 4,000 or 5,000 grit for the middle work, and an 8K, and maybe use a pasted strop to finish if you're on a budget. But the more stones you have, the more options you have, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to coat this with clipper side for hair clippers, by the way. For anything under 3 months of storage, this works great. So get it on Amazon. There's my shameless plug. I don't have a link, so have fun. Buy it wherever you want. See y'all. Bye.